many people with a better business model, you know, people learning AI, people, just really intelligent people around the world, which is just amazing for my personal growth. Your digital nomad choice and experience is definitely reliant on your goals, your self-discipline, and who you are as a person. When you meet people, don't become everybody's friend. Just see, do they align to your goals? That's why you need to establish what are your goals. Like curiosity just is just stimulated all the time. Like you always have to be street smart, whatever you do, female or male. But I think for me, something that I noticed a lot over the last 2 months, especially being in Asia, is you need to watch out for grooming. Good evening, everyone. So it's a happy Independence Day in Vietnam right now. What I've really enjoyed being a nomad over the last 3 months. The lifestyle, I would say, you've got to be a strong person to deal with this lifestyle, because loneliness is a massive thing. So before you even consider being a nomad, consider what is your mission, you know, like what is your goals and what's your mission to be able to sustain this lifestyle. Like, is it something that you want to try a year of? Is it something that you want to like full-time do for the rest of your life? Everybody's goals are subjective, but I would say that's a big point, because I think everybody romanticizes the idea of being a digital nomad, but what is it really, you know? And for me, I did 2 years of being in the van, which is like a good test run, to then now be full-time traveling. And because van life equipped me for the loneliness, being able to get away and work on yourself is important, but how will you cope with loneliness? And this is something that actually one of the number one topics that comes up is when I meet new either nomads or someone taking a break for a year, is that they're enjoying the full-time travel, but the loneliness is something that they suffer with. Now, I want to address this quickly, this topic of loneliness, because basically I feel that my personal aspect to loneliness right now in this moment is you need to travel to where you don't have this loneliness. And how is where is community. So definitely finding an online community to help support you, or wherever you are. Like loneliness is stem from, it could be like either yourself, like you're going through something that you need to grow through, and you need to be like, for a long time, the reason why I decided to do being in a van, I wanted to see if I can actually be alone and be happy. So the answer is yes, but there's a big but here. Another part of loneliness for me is community, connection, and the sun. So by me just being in complete gray, that was actually really hindering my loneliness and my lifestyle setup. That's what really caused my loneliness. I would say traveling full time now, I've only been doing it for 3 months, so you can't really I can't really give you a full overview, but I would say right now I'm definitely not lonely. um, I I definitely feel that I'm busy. Like if I want community now, I've got it. I'm quite a easy, like one of my strengths is that I'm very good at people. So I will find people wherever I am. I actually feel that traveling is part of my natural habitat. So this makes me feel comfortable. So loneliness in that way of connection and community, I'll find it wherever I go. That's one of my strengths, which is great. But then the third aspect to loneliness is obviously love. Like we as humans, we all desire this need for a romantic connection, and so we all desire this romantic connection. And especially, like I would say, for me, I'm kind of looking for my romantic partner that is within the same lifestyle as me. There is no way I could be with a partner and someone's living in the 9 to 5 and I'm a full-time traveler, because I would want to experience that with my partner. So those are the three things to consider when you're starting to be a nomad, because that's the most at the core of all of us, I feel like that is really it. Then let's talk about this the the traveling. So I prefer a slower travel because um, I'm very good at being spontaneous and shifting energy all the time. But sometimes you can shift your energy so much that I feel like I'm a tornado about to explode, um, where I need to ground. So this is Da Nang right now, which is sick, which is quite cool. We're in Da Nang and it's pretty freaking awesome, bro. Like, I've chosen this place to actually ground for the next 3 months. There is obviously logic and logistics, but for me, it's about how do I feel in the moment? And really, through my experience here, I've decided I like to ground from time to time. So sometimes when I loved it in Wales is when I would spend like a solid 3 months. Then after 3 months, I'd be like, right, I need to move now. So for me, being able to slow travel is just one of the best things possible. I can go this way. Once you know your movement and how you travel, basically, I would say just start to explore how you like to travel. For me, I can't be too go, go, go because my body can't handle the change too much. So I will likely be sick my first week when I land somewhere, which is really bad on the health, right? That doesn't scream like I got a good immune system, does it? So that's something I'm prioritizing now is the lifestyle. So let's talk about the digital nomad lifestyle. So you can create whatever lifestyle it is. But I was actually talking to a nomad yesterday and he said that his travel is completely different to a backpacker, and that's something completely true. So I started my journey with a backpack and I'm soon like ready to change my backpack into a roller because carrying all your full-time travel stuff on your back, it sucks. Like, it's not practical at all. Partying is, so when you consider your lifestyle, you think about, okay, the nightclubs, partying, workflow, where you're going to work, what's your morning routine going to be, what's your evening routine would be. And to be honest with you, this is something that I'd only started to figure out, especially here in Da Nang. That's why I'm grounding in Da Nang. So for me, uh, taking care of myself, going to the spa is important to me. Having a very good workflow in space. So I need a good hotel room where I can work, good internet, and then having access to co-working spaces and also co-working communities is important to me. And really good food is a priority, and being able to work in a really good food like a cafe and things like that. So a healthy lifestyle is a non-negotiable, and partying is like a low importance because I have goals to reach, and it's like when I party it becomes like really hard for me to come back into my normal state of production. So like I'm 33. The recovery rate is not the great, and also I'm a bit of an excessive person when I'm partying. I'm an all or nothing type of chick. So when I go in, I'm in. When I'm out, I'm out. There's no middle ground. So yeah, so the lifestyle is important. But the best thing about being a nomad for me is one thing that when I was in Wales in a co-working space, I felt like I was limited, very limited. I felt that I was quite limited with my network in the co-community there. And by traveling, it confirmed to me because I landed up actually meeting so many people with a better business model, people learning AI, people, just really intelligent people around the world, which is just amazing for my personal growth for a businesswoman. I'm surrounded by a lot of men, which I love in terms of like they've just got this hustle, they've got their head screwed on properly, which is great. Like meeting someone that's earning $10,000 a month, like that's the energy that I want to be around. So I'm a big believer of you are who you surround yourself with, and that's why with this whole lifestyle choice of what you need to think is like if you're one hanging around with loads of people who just love to party and they don't have a good work ethic, you'll become that type of person. But when you're actually thinking about, okay, um, where do I want to be, how do I grow, then I 100% recommend, like, when you meet people, don't become everybody's friend. Just see, do they align to your goals? That's why you need to establish what are your goals, you know. So this comes back to my point one of what are your goals as a nomad, literally. Like, that is something that you need to define. And if you haven't defined it, by saying like a year of exploration, you'll soon figure out what you like and you don't like, because you'll get yourself in situations, like I have over the last 3 months. There's some situations where I realized, ooh, I need to make a choice here, because I can easily go down this rabbit hole of not being disciplined, or I can choose to be disciplined and get to my goals quicker. So in life, we've all got choices, and this is one of those things. Like, your digital nomad choice and experience is definitely reliant on your goals, your self-discipline, and who you are as a person. Let's address being a solo female traveler. What's it like? Now, I will say, if you've never traveled as a solo female traveler, definitely get yourself into a community. Because for me, I feel like the difference between me and someone starting out is because I've literally at the age of 17, well, younger, 14, 15, 16, 17, I've always gone out alone, which is crazy, I know, but I just always needed to be out and about. And then when I was 18, I moved to London by myself, and I've been living alone ever since that. So going to festivals alone with 40,000 people, like, I started to adapt a little bit. I wouldn't say that I am like, you always have to be street smart, whatever you do, female or male. But I think for me, something that I noticed a lot over the last 2 months, especially being in Asia, is you need to watch out for grooming. Okay. um, these are techniques that I've seen my whole life. So just be mindful. Don't take a drink from someone. Don't take any cigarettes from someone. Don't take any things that you are not used to. So just having that kind of, like, you buy your own food, you buy your own drinks. You don't go to dinner with somebody and let them pay. But this is like if you've never traveled before, okay, because of the grooming techniques. And this is something people don't talk about, I don't feel. But for me, I've observed it a lot over the last couple of months. And I actually had a conversation with another nomad, but I was a male nomad, and he was like, it was a great, honest conversation. Um, but because of the culture in Asia, like, being a Western woman, it's different, right? We are customized to a lot of difference in comparison to what it can be like for a woman on the other side here. You know what I mean? So obviously, if you want to go into depth with all of this, please contact me directly. But I'm just keeping it general right now. So that would be the biggest tactics for me is, make sure that you don't walk around at night. If you do, make sure you're streetwise. Is it safe? Have you done your due diligence? I actually have done a similar video about when I was followed in Thailand. So you could just check out that video over here. I do have a bit more in depth about being it, but maybe I do a separate video. Comment down below if you want to hear it. But honestly, I feel fine. I feel like even though I've gone to dinner by myself with men, they've been absolutely fine. It's just, you've always got to think of the back of your mind, like, what is your escape route? What is this purpose of this dinner? And does this person know that, look here, you're here just to be a friend and not anything else? Do you know what I mean? So, like, it's good to set clear boundaries and have that confidence to set it. If you don't, then let's just say there could be blurred lines along the scenes where you don't want to get yourself in a situation where you can't get out of. So yeah, I feel absolutely fine traveling alone. I've got no, there's some moments where I feel safer than others, but that's just life. You could be in your own hometown and not feel safe. Your expectations versus reality. Let's have a checkpoint here, right? What is your budget? What is your monthly spending? I would say A beginner level budget would be £1,500, where you could have a great time with £1,500, to be honest. And that's not living in a hostel room. It could be maybe 1,000 if you're hostel backpacking, which could be actually quite good if you're solo traveling. But for me, I need my space. I love staying from hostels from time to time just for the vibe sometimes. But in terms of my age and what I prefer now is I love the luxury of having my own room. So I would say my starting budget is £1,500 a month. Now, um, I am growing. So I should actually call it level two because I'm not in a hostel with my budget. And what does that mean? That means that you won't be able to do a lot, So what are you going to do in the meantime where if you can't go on adventure when everybody else goes? You need to find ways to entertain yourself. So being able to work out, go for a walk, like do all these things that are for free is good. So I would say always keep a list of things to do so you don't get bored or you don't feel like, oh man, this sucks, because this is the same reality I would say that I've experienced when I've done like a 9 to 5 and you can't go out because you have to save money and all this stuff. It's the same reality when you're traveling. So just being mindful. But just know if your goal is to have, okay, now I'm on the level of £2,500, your life becomes so much more luxurious and you can have more spontaneity with what you do. But 100% knowing your numbers when you travel, what are your goals, coming back to that, and just knowing your expectations versus reality, because my expectation is I knew my expectations living in a van, because I soon realized of how you can feel stuck from time to time. You can feel stuck from time to time, and I hate feeling stuck. Like, I can't stand it. It's the worst for me. So I'm working towards my upper level now, that £2,500 version. Well, first 2,000 and then £2,500, where we get to experience more, do more, be more, and that's what I cannot wait for. Um, but I'm enjoying the journey. I also know my budget, so make sure you know your numbers. Don't just spend on the fly. You gotta keep a budget. Then, if you're a frequent flyer and you're traveling, there's a way to do it on the cheap if you know your numbers. So this is called rewards and points and being money smart. I actually have a separate video with a kind of digital nomad essentials that you can check out the video over here, which explains so much more about rewards and points. It's something that I immediately started researching as soon as I started, because I watch a lot of YouTubers, of course. But if you think back to your goals, like what is it that you actually want, it's important to have this, because you can actually get a lot more for less. And especially when you're traveling, and if social media is part of your goals, you can become over 2,000, I think, or 3,000 followers on Instagram. You can become an affiliate with different places, like Get Your Guide. There's like a way to make money whilst you travel as well. So you could always have a side hustle. I definitely recommend having like a side hustle when it comes to your travels, and you're thinking of doing this as a long-term goal. So having social media is important for side hustle game, definitely. That's like, it's a lot of work, but there's a lot of reward behind it. Like, I got a free massage, like a hair spa, which is like saved me £11 just by recording an ASMR video, so you can Skillshare. And going on the third aspect, if you can't afford your nomadic lifestyle when you start, there's a thing called World Packers. I'll leave a link in the description below. But that World Packers means you can travel and you can save money on accommodation. I did it in June. You can see my July Italy vlog over here, which is great. To wrap up, my favorite thing about being a digital nomad is about I can change my location wherever I want. My quality of life can be different in so many different places. You get to make up your own rules, and that's what I love the most, is being that freedom. The freedom to just not waste time anymore with life, and not to take life to the fullest. For me, I just need to live, okay? That's my main priority, is live, 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 live. And I don't want to just live 20 days of the year or 30 days of the year. I want to live all the days of the year, you know, and having my own work schedule and routines, and I'm not time restricted, is just the best. Because, you know, some days I will be working all day, other times I will work the morning, take the afternoon off, work the evening. Like, you just make that up, which is great. I love the people. I love expanding myself and my knowledge, and my curiosity just is just stimulated all the time. That's why I didn't like. Also, the nature is just the best. Having moments where you're just like, damn, I could have. There's no way I would have been here if I hadn't been here. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and let me know in the comment section below if there's anything I missed out that you want to know about. I am definitely gonna start to interview digital nomads as well, because I just love their perspectives. Like, I spent the whole day with a South African yesterday, and I just picked his brain the whole day. I was just like, so what is this? What is this? What are you doing about this? What about this? What about that? And there's just so much logistics when traveling, which, you know, I'm in like the level 2 zone. He's like level 5, level 8 zone. So the higher you go, the more logistics you need to figure out, which is quite interesting. But yeah, subscribe, like, and we'll see you in the next video.